today is the day that I'm installing the shelf, and if I have time I'll install the baseboard and the crown molding as well. If you missed my building this big bookcase here, the link is down below, and you can also watch the entire series about how I completely gutted out this office and I'm basically doing a makeover. But everything I'm doing today is these right here. I'm installing the stays for the shelves, so I have to cut my shelves, but right now I have all my stays cut. I have a total of 12 of them put together. I actually only need 10, but I have 2 extra just in case one of them splits when I put the screws into them. All these is basically just pieces of fairing strip that I've cut to just about 10 inches, and I'm flushing them, as you can see, to the back of the bookcase, so that it will be a gap right here. That's about an inch and a half. All right, so if you remember from the last video, I've already measured where I want them. Okay, so all I have to do is kind of like place it where I want them, flush them to the back over here. I'm going to show you all the steps. I'm going to put the level. I have like a little bullet level here. I'm going to put it on top, pre-drill a hole here on the left side, install my screw, and then I can at that point kind of like wiggle it a little bit left and right, make sure it's leveled, and install the next screw. So I'm going to put the camera on the tripod so I can show you everything that I'm doing. I'm hoping I'm explaining step by step in a way that kind of makes sense. Now, where it's going to be really tricky is that once I have this, I have to then put a piece of wood across that way, measure all of my 13-inch gaps here as well, and then figure out a way to install those so that the shelf that's right here is going to be perfectly leveled. And when it's going to get even more tricky is when I tackle the left side, at which point I have to make sure that this one right here is perfectly level with the other, so that way my shelves kind of coincide, if I'm making any sense. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing your drilling is that you want a bit that doesn't go all the way through. So I have to ensure that I insert this bit right here and that the end of my drill is exactly where I want the length of the hole, if that makes sense, because you don't want this to go all the way through. And then the same thing pretty much is true with the screws themselves. I don't want the screws to go all the way in, so these are a little bit over an inch, so about 1 3/4 inches. They're just regular screws, and I'm putting them perpendicular. I'm not going into a slant or anything, and I just need 2 of those. All right. Alright, so I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing, and again, I've already marked them. You can see the mark right here. I'm going to flush this to the back because I want it to not protrude in the back right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now notice that this cut right here is not super straight, so I'm just going to flip it where I have a straight cut. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm putting my level right here and kind of make sure that this is level. Once I have that taken care of, I'm just going to hold it this way and start drilling right here, perpendicular, nice and straight. Gonna change bits. Alright, and you don't want to push too much because otherwise you're going to crack it. You just want it to be a little bit indented. That's it. So now I'm going to put my level back on. Now I'm going to wiggle it a little bit until I get to the level that I want. A little bit more. Okay, perfect. Okay. And here we go. That's it. Okay, and it's leveled. All right, moving on to the next. Took long enough, but I have all of the ones I needed on this side. Alright, so it's not that it's difficult, it's just boring. That's the problem. Alright, so I have this level thing here that I'm going to use. Basically, I'm going to use it, it's another one where I have to put the camera on the tripod. Hold on. In order for me to be able to let's say I want to do the one that's right here, right? So I'll put this way. I know it's going like this. I'm taking my level and I am using this to hold it, or I can put it flat. Probably would work better. Alright, and then I just go like this until it's leveled. I'm hoping you can see that. I should do a close-up, but you get the idea, okay? And that's basically where this needs to be. So I'm going to move it forward a little bit. I'm going to draw a line. It'd be nice if I was prepped with a pen. Alright, and I just got to work it until it is straight and leveled. And mark it here, right? So now I can take that out. And I pretty much have the mark where I want this, and that's how you see that your upright is actually warped, because there's a gap right there, but what are you going to do about that? And if you anticipated the wood to be perfect, just make sure it's leveled here as well, which it should be, and it's not. So I'm going to use only one of the marks. It's going to be this one right here. Level it. I'm going to put an arrow right here and an arrow right here so I know where to stand it, and then I'm going to try it again with this to make sure it is leveled. It's a little bit off. Oh, but it's because I moved it. Hold on, where am I? There we go. And here, so. Huh. That's interesting. How come it's leveled here but not there? I'm thinking that this right here that I'm using is not straight. So let's do it this way. Okay, I'm good here, I'm good here, and I'm good here. Alright, so this thing here is not straight, so I gotta use it this way. But otherwise that should be fine. Let me make sure. I just moved it again. You see, it's complicated. Told you. I think I need to move it a little bit more. This way. But if I do that, it's not level, huh? I need to get a bigger piece. I don't think I can do what I'm trying to do with this right here. So let me get a bigger shelf. One that's already pre-cut, because that little piece here is going to be a problem, I can tell. Okay, take two. This should work. I had to cut a board that was a little bit more flat. I'm going to put it this way. Where's my ay. All right. Nope. Okay. Now I'm leveled. Let me see. Make sure I'm leveled here as well. A little bit off. Okay. It's very repetitive a job, I can tell you that. Very repetitive. It's one of those things where I wish I had 2 drills. One for the screws and one for the actual drilling. Whoop, this is not placed properly. Alright, moment of truth. Perfect. Perfectly leveled. Alright, let me keep going and then I'll show you what they look like once it's done. Okay, quick update. I'm done. I've done the entire right side of the bookcase. They are all perfectly leveled. Where's my piece of thing? Here we go. Alright, so let's just say I picked this one randomly. Where's my level? What did I do with it? Where's my level? Oh, here we go. Okay, alright, see? It's, we got like less than an eighth of a bubble plum there. And let's try this one. And this one, nice. Let me try the one in the middle. I think is the one that I have a little bit of trouble with. So let's see where we're at. Nah, it's pretty good. Alright, so it's not exact. You gotta remember that the walls are not straight, the floor is not straight, the boards are kind of warped, so yeah, that's that. Alright, I'm going to tackle the left side and then I'll place the shelves. Okay, and to do the left side, I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I did on the right, though they're going to have to be leveled to these shelves and not necessarily to the floor. Am I making sense? Because the floor is a little bit higher here. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to count my 13-inch on this side instead. I don't know if you can see that, but there we go. So that's 13 right here. And I'm going to count 13 in the back as well. Alright, so I should have this piece right here. Or is it? No, it's the bottom part. Haha, it's a good thing I checked. So this is supposed to be here. Now let me see. They look like they are pretty even. Let me get my level. What did I do with it now? Oh. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to level this shelf to this one here, which is not easy at all. Okay, I think I got it. So, let me make sure that this is leveled. Move it a little bit down. There we go. I'm going to mark it. And once I have the first one, then they should all be okay because they kind of follow the same pattern. Alright, let me do this one and then I'll check again. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then once I have the entire side here, I have to do the next one. It's a lot of work. Okay, quick update. I got one shelf over there which I'm using to hold my stuff and put one all the way on the top over there, and I finished all of the stays that are on the left. And the same method I've used on this side, I'm going to use on this side with the board. Where is it? I cannot find, oh, right here. Using my board here, and you've seen that, you know, to kind of like figure out where the level is, mark, and that's it. All my shelves have been cut to size already and sanded. The only thing is that this board right now, and I didn't realize that when I installed it, and you probably can't see it. I don't think you can. This board is warped. And it's my fault. I should have checked it before I installed it. So what happens, because it's warped and moving towards the left here, my shelves had to be cut a little bit in an angle, because this is 34 inch or 33 and 3/4, I can't remember. But in the back, it's less. So, because it's less, I actually had to cut them at an angle, kind of like, you know, like this a little bit. So it was a little bit difficult, and not all of them fit. I have one here where it's really warping towards the left. You can't see it because I put it on top and I have this hiding it, but there's a gap right here underneath this stay that's a good, almost a ½ inch. It's crazy. But you can see it again because this is hidden by the stay. And let me tell you, I can hang from these shelves. They're not moving. I mean, literally, I can hang from them. This is awesome. It's super, super sturdy. So I'm still thinking as to whether or not I want to keep it blue in the back. I thought about putting some fabric in the back, like inserting panels of fabric that would be the same color than the curtains I'm going to put here. But then again, now that I'm looking at it, the blue is not so bad. So I don't know. I gotta wait and see what it looks like once it's painted. I know I'm going to caulk everything, like when you see things like this, right? All of this is going to be caulked so you don't see those little gaps anywhere. That's where I'm at. All right, I'm gonna do the other side right here and then insert the shelves, I guess. It's done. I have every single one of my stays. What a horrible job this was. Now, after consideration, I think that this was worse than putting the file cabinet together. And that was pretty heinous. I am exhausted. My back hurts. It's looking great. I can't wait to fit it the shelves, which I'm going to do now. Like I said, some of them have little gaps and stuff. That's issues with cuts and boards that are warped. But what are you going to do? Like you see, even if I put this thing here, it's a straight piece of fairing strip, but you see the warping in the board. It's pine. That's what happens when you buy pine. Now, to the question, would you be better off just building IKEA shelves? Well, it all depends on what the result is. What is it that you want? If you just want a shelf to put stuff on and you don't care whether or not eventually 5 years down the road you're going to have to take it down and buy another one, then by all means get yourself an IKEA shelf. I've done that numerous times. I just bought a similar type for the basement downstairs. This, I really need to stay here forever. I don't want to have to, you know, worry about the shelf wobbling, the back coming off, because at the end of the day, it's, you know, particle board. They don't really last that long. This one, I want it to be custom built or semi-custom built. The one thing I'm probably going to do, I'll have to take my husband's desk out of here, is, you know, after I push those in nicely, I'm probably going to have to sand them a little bit so that everything is flush, though I'm sure that if I kind of like bang on this one a little bit more, it will go in. Like for instance, here, this is much better. But then again, I have a strip, I've decided, decorative strip I'm going to put there. Alright, so yeah, horrible, boring project to do. I'm looking like hell. I don't know how interesting this was for you, because I can tell you it was boring for me. Really boring. Yeah, it's looking great. Scott saw it when he came back home last night very late, because he's doing freelance and stuff, and he really likes it, so I'm excited about this. I can't wait to see it done. I'm gonna finish the shelves now. I'll give you a final look. I'm not gonna paint it right now. I need to build the other ones. I don't see the point of me spending time painting this and then I have to build something else. So I'm just going to build the other ones and then I'll paint everything at once. The painting is going to be another horrible project. It's this is like the longest project for real that I've done in this house. I really think, because I don't even know how many weeks it's been now. I would have to go back and see. I think it was maybe the last week of January and we March 13th already. Either the last week of January or first week of February I started emptying this office. So it's been 6 or 7 weeks so far and I have another 3 or 4 ahead, if not more. So I'm trying to be done by Edward's birthday, because that's usually when Scott's parents come over and I need access to the guest bedroom for them, because if you remember, if you've been watching this series from the get-go, everything that was in here is in the guest bedroom right now. You can't sleep there, it's crazy. So I have to have this done within 4 weeks. That's the goal. Plenty more videos to come for sure. All right, let me go get my shelves and I'll give you a final look and then I'll see you the next time around. Okay, you ready? Here we go. All my shelves are in. So now, while they are perfectly leveled with one another, I do have gaps. I have a big gap here, I have a big gap over there, and a little one here. Some of them don't have any gap at all. It's because the board in the middle, and I think the one on the left too is a little warped. That's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. This one here, you see the board is warped, so I have a shim somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. I need to put a shim on it. And then here I'm gonna have a plate anyway, and on the side here as well. So it's not like you're really going to see it. Like this one here is perfect on the side, but it's kind of sucky on the left here. So I don't know, unless I kind of like play around with them and see which one fits best. But otherwise, let me move back a little bit more. This is what it looks like. Bookcase is almost complete. I just have to do the crown molding, the baseboard, and then the facing to kind of like hide the middle part. I think that's really what I need to do. I need to do like a facing that's a little bit wider. I don't care if it kind of overlaps here and there. It's probably going to finish off a little bit better. Anyway, so I'm saying goodbye now. I will see you when I come back at another day to do the bottom and top and the facing. I don't know what you think. I like it. I really do. They are super solid, so I'm very happy with that. And I like the fact that I made them 13 inches, so I have plenty of space for tall books, in particular art books. And then the one here that's at eye level, that's going to be for memorabilia for me, and this is going to be for Scott memorabilia. So that's going to look pretty neat as well. All right, I'll see you in a second.